welcome to the Astro Forecast for the week of July 19th to July 25th. This is going to be a very interesting week. We have a full moon in Aquarius. The sun is moving into Leo. We want to party and have a good time, and it's not really shaping up for that right now. So, of course, depending on your own chart and what's happening in your own astrology, it can be a little bit different, but this is kind of going to be for the collective. So we're going to see this kind of play out on the bigger stage as well. And it will affect your life, of course, because you're part of this lifetime, right? So as we start out this week, we are coming into the second quarter phase, building towards that full moon. So what does that mean? It means that we have a lot of energy, we have a lot of vitality, we're a lot of zest to get up and go and do the things that we want to do. So on Tuesday, we start off the week. Monday, not really anything big, although there's some of these aspects this week that are going to sort of impact the whole week. But I'll just talk about the exacts on the days. But I think it's really important to know that these aspects are going to be kind of, it's not just like a boom, it happens on the day and then the next day everything's good. Some of that happens with the moon. The moon's really fast, but some of these other transits take some time to kind of build to, which we call applying, exact, and then separating. So during that applying, exact, and separating time, we feel it during that band, and then it gets really intense and then it wanes away. So that's kind of how you'll start to feel these things. So people are like, well, Tuesday you said it was going to be emotional, but I was really emotional on Monday. It's like, yes, because it's building, and your reality is your reality, right? Trust what you're feeling. And instead of judging it, go, I'm allowed to be emotional today. I don't know why. A lot of things happening, but the more that you push it away and deny it, the worse it's going to be. So what you resist persists, as they say, and it is true. So just accept it, right? Just go, okay, I'm feeling like crap today. All right, I don't know why. Just And if you want to dig into it and feel like, does this belong to you? Is there something deeper here to be acknowledged? Then do that work too, right? That's really helpful. All right, so Tuesday, July 20th, we have Mercury, which is still sitting in lovely, intuitive, emotional Cancer, is going to be in a harmonious aspect to Uranus in Taurus. So Uranus is the great awakener and Mercury is our mind. And Uranus is starting to slow down now. It's going to go retrograde in August. So we're already starting to see it sort of slow down. Does this mean anything for us? It kind of makes some of these transits a little bit more intense, but this is kind of it's a harmonious aspect. It shouldn't be too big. And what it really gives us is ingenious, creative ideas. These are amazing intellectual twists, and we start to see things that are from our intuition or from our emotions. Really interesting that we started off this talk about your emotions giving you, maybe there's actually something there that, for you to heal. And your emotions are held in the body. And what we learn in spirituality, or especially in mediumship, is our emotions are the language of our soul. So we know when we're in alignment, when we feel good and we're joyful, and we're not in alignment when we feel anger, frustration, guilt, shame, jealousy, all those things, right? So why are you not in alignment? What is keeping you from that alignment? And then how can we either bring healing or awareness to it and bring ourselves back into alignment? Because that's where the flow is, and that's where we feel the best. Let's be honest, right? We feel the best when we're in happiness and joy. That's why we want it so much. So on Tuesday, this is a wonderful kind of unexpected twists and turns day. So I would say if you have an agenda and things that you got to get done on this day, I would schedule in lots of white space for creativity and for unexpected detours and encounters with people, because that's what's going to happen. You may go down rabbit holes that will take you to really cool little destination points that you didn't plan on, that maybe you're like, oh my God, that's why I do, or that's why Aunt Mary was so weird. You'll just kind of find things out on this day that it's just like, oh, you didn't expect it. It's going to be one of those days when you look back at the end of the day and go, didn't see that coming. But it's not going to be bad. It'll be really exciting. Not that anything is bad. You can always see the optimism or opportunity in everything. So great time to meet new people, ingenious ideas, inventive thinking outside the box, creative, grounding your creative ideas into reality, exciting news, stimulating conversations, unexpected pleasant detours in your day. That's what I wrote in my notes. So Tuesday, plan for the unexpected and just leave yourself white space. Do not overschedule yourself on Tuesday. You will feel like you didn't get anything done. Wednesday, July 21st, Venus moves from fiery, flamboyant Leo into Virgo. Now, Virgo is a very different sign from Leo, but it's when you look at the progression of the zodiac, each sign builds on the next. So you can't actually go to the next sign until you've kind of mastered the first sign, so to speak, right? It's kind of like school subjects. You're kind of we're going up through the zodiac, and then we start again. So with Leo, we learn about our voice and how, what our talents are, what is our special, unique gift that we have to give into the world. And in Virgo, we learn to use it in service in some way. We use it for our health, for our daily routines, and for serving other people and putting that into detail. So Leos are not known normally for their detail because they're meant for their big ideas and their creativity. It's really about getting it out of them because it's just like this amazing, talented, creative wind, passion, fire that is, you're bringing it out and now you're honing it and making it something that you can help other people with. And so that energy from Venus moving from Leo to Virgo, we're putting this into service. So this Virgo now loves to be of service. It loves practicality. It loves things that are, acts of service is the love language with Venus and Virgo. We express our love through practical acts of service, running errands, detailed work, just being there for people. Love has to serve a purpose, sensual but practical. So Leo is sensual and flamboyant, and it's got the drama and the dress and the hair and the look at me. Think of Jennifer Lopez is a very famous Leo, and then Beyonce is a very famous Virgo. And it's kind of, you're like, well, they kind of are the same. Yeah, but Beyonce has a lot of her messaging. I might get a lot of ads with this, but I'll say Beyonce has this, the messaging is always about like healing her heart. It feels like, although J-Lo has that too. So I would say there's maybe more structure to Beyonce. I don't know. I haven't actually gone down that rabbit hole, and I don't think I should do that on this video. So with Venus moving into Virgo, we're just going to want to be more practical, but we want to enjoy, but also we may feel guilty about being self-indulgent. Leo does not feel guilty about being self-indulgent. They enjoy life. Virgos may feel guilty about overspending, overindulging, because they're all about health, wellness, cleanliness, doing the right thing, so to speak. And not to say that Leos don't, but they're not worried about that. They're worried about following their heart. So it's a very different kind of motivation for Leo than it is for Virgo. We want to be of service in Virgo, Venus in Virgo. And it's an expression of, it can be an expression of our love to be of service and help people. I'm a Virgo. I love helping people. It really does kind of light me up. It's my jam. Now, be careful. No, because everything turned up too loud is, it's got its problems. Virgo turned up too loud is worrisome, is nitpicky, is overly practical, and it's not fun, right? It's just not fun. It's like, ooh, don't put your shoes there. I'm going to clean it up. Or, pick up your drink and put a coaster underneath and don't, it's a person that's like so worried about the details that you're actually not having any fun. So be careful about that. All right, as Thursday rolls around, the sun is moving into Leo. Happy birthday, Leos. So this is Leo season coming into this, right? This is flamboyant. This is fun. This is connection. This is our self-expression, creativity. It is the house. Leo normally rules the 5th house in astrology, which is called the fun house. It is where all the fun happens. Leos are always the life of the party. Man, if you want to go to a good party or know a good place to eat, talk to a Leo. So Leo is a fixed fire sign, and it's party time sign. It really is, right? Now, when we think about the full moon is the next day. So this is interesting because this is a 1 degree full moon the next day. With the sun moving into Leo on Thursday, there is an aspect on this day that's kind of a bit of a party pooper. I'm going to be honest, a bit of a party pooper. So when we think about Leo, Leos are proud, they're outgoing, they're playful, intensely individual. It's about, if you're born a Leo, it is your politeness lifetime to learn how to shine your light, to be seen doing what you love, and to know that you can be the authority in whatever it is that you create. Leos tend to be creative, so they're not kind of going behind something that's already done. They're going to do something that has never been done. They are very dynamic and probably have multi-passionate things in their life that they will do. It's very unusual to know of a Leo that does one thing for their whole life. Very unusual. They need flexibility. They're fire. They're a fire sign, but they're a fixed fire sign. So that means that they focus their passion on one thing and then they move on to something else. Usually. Fixed sign doesn't kind of do that, but it's a fire sign. It needs passion and needs creativity to flow, and flowing in one spot will burn a hole if you think about it, right? So drama, color, fashion, they like to stand out. They enjoy to express themselves. They're generous and grand. And again, Leo turned up too loud is self-centered and vain. So almost kind of like so focused inward. A very famous Leo is also Donald Trump, right? He has a lot of Leo in his chart, and it's so focused inward that it almost is, I would say it actually has made him very successful. Love him or hate him, there is a success behind him that he just believes so much in himself that he won't listen to anyone else telling him what's what, right? It's very interesting. It's almost like he's wired for success, because if you didn't listen to any of your haters and you didn't have a voice of the ego telling you you couldn't do something, you would then ascend into greatness because there's really nothing holding you back, right? So Donald Trump kind of has that aspect in his chart. He's very Leo in that way, and it's really turned up very loud, right to the reddish kind of weird hair that he's got. But you know what? Love him or hate him, he's definitely got these traits that keep him coming back for more, and he won't take no for an answer, which is pretty interesting when you look at somebody who's ascended to his place in society. So very interesting. And then so on this day, on Thursday, July 22nd, Venus is also opposite Jupiter. So Leo's ruling planet is actually the sun, right? Because the sun shines, the center of the universe, it shines its light. And Leos are like that. If you know Leo, especially when they're in their light, they are shining their fire. They are just like this sun. You just can't not look at them, right? So the sun is its ruling planet. So we can't really look at anything in that way because the sun is in Leo during this time. It's considered in its rulership. So it's a really beautiful time for the collective connection and coming together, relationships, things like that. But on this day, Venus is opposite Jupiter. So Venus is what we love and value. Remember, it's in Virgo now, about practicality. And, Leos don't really like practicality, right? Practicality is a bit of a boner killer, let's be honest. I mean, if that word offends you, I'm sorry about that, but it really, that's what it is. And so with Venus being in Virgo opposite Jupiter now in Pisces, that's retrograde, it is at a time where we're sort of asking ourselves, is what we want practical? Do you actually want all this flamboyantness? And as a Leo, you're probably going, yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. Right. And there's going to be this, well, you don't have the money to go on this trip, or you don't have the money, Venus, what we love and value, to buy all the things that you bought. Or you look around your house and you go, okay, I want to buy more things. I need, a coming out dress from COVID, and I have no money for that at this time. So what can I sell, Venus and Virgo, and to really clear the clutter and increase the space and the feeling in my home, Jupiter in Pisces retrograde, healing my home. Right. So it might be a really great time to clear the clutter and sell things out and kind of get some extra money to do the things you actually want to do. That would be a really lovely way to do this aspect. But the opposite way to do this aspect is overindulging, running away, and feeling really bad about the money that we did spend, almost kind of turning it inward, as opposed to seeing it as an opportunity, blaming self. Very overindulgent, lack of motivation. It's really a good time to vacation. This is not a good day, Thursday, to do heavy, hard work. It's not a good day for that. I mean, inward work, sure, why not? I mean, like clearing your clutter in your house and all that kind of stuff is good. But if you're doing a lot of like, you're trying to get a lot of things done on your to-do list, it might feel like Thursday you're fighting yourself for it because you really just want to relax and just be, you know, yourself on that day. So no big investments at this time. This is really important. Do not make a big investment on this day. You might find that you bought a lemon or you didn't get the deal that you thought. Okay. So I would sort of wait, actually, not even this week. I wouldn't do it this week at all. So it is also can be very affectionate energy and very playful energy. So you know, it's a kind of a light time. It's not meant for something really heavy at this point. The other aspect on this day that's also making this day not so great is Mars in Leo. So fiery Mars is in conjunct, which means a kind of a need for an adjustment or a paradox between Pluto, which is death, rebirth, and transformation, in Capricorn, which is about structure. So this is a severe power struggle and arguments. We want what we want, but we can't get it because there's something in the way. So we've got these three aspects, right? The sun going into Leo. Here I am. I've arrived at the party. And then there's Venus and Jupiter going, but I want all these things, but I can't because I don't have the money, or things aren't working out for me, or my relationship is going through like what I want is not coming to fruition, or I have overdone it in some way and now I have to pay the piper for that. So being careful with that, overextending yourself, overindulging, overgiving, overpaying, overspending, all the things. And then with Mars and Pluto going, I want to have a good time, but I can't because I don't have the money, or society, or my people aren't coming to see me, or whatever. So on this day, have a me day. This will be a great day to like get your nails done, get your hair did, you know, just having a day where you're sort of lounging at light day at work. Friday, July 23rd is the full moon in Aquarius. So what I'll say is, because of these aspects leading up to this day, it might be a bit of an emotional moon, feeling like you don't feel like I don't feeling good, or feeling like you want to feel, especially when people are merging. Now, you know, workshops are coming out, people are doing more in-person things, and maybe you're like, oh my God, I was going to see that I gained the COVID weight, or nothing fits right. You know, that's that Venus opposite Jupiter too. You could feel like, oh, I don't feel like I'm enough, you know, like I need to go do more things to feel better about myself. So be careful not to get down on yourself and focus on the things that you have been doing well. And what is the opportunity now from where you're at? Full moon in Aquarius. This is a fixed fire sign, right? This is an intelligent, cerebral sign, and it is about society, community, elevating humanity. This is about doing things for the environment. What can we do to elevate now? So the sun is in Leo, remember, and the moon is in Aquarius, and this is a 1 degree full moon. So this is a very baby of the signs, right? So the sun at the 1st degree of Leo is saying, look at me shining my light. And then the 1st degree moon Aquarius is like, no, we use your talents to elevate humanity. And so this is sort of us feeling like, where do we fit in the big picture? Right? Where do my talents fit with all the things that are needed in the world today? And it can feel overwhelming that we want to do so many, you know, things, or we want to be you know, really shining our light, and we can't because we feel like there's a restriction there. So what's happening with this full moon is, with the moon at this time is sitting with Pluto, and it's about 6 degrees away from Pluto, but still applying. And so Pluto with the moon is very intense. It's an intense energy of like doing and being of service, and the sun being in Leo, of this fiery sign. These are also aspects of the variant. So Leo being fire and the spread, and Aquarius being that kind of through the air, and how are people getting this, and mutations and things like that, very Aquarian energy. So this could be an aspect in which we are then having this kind of this thing sitting in the background. And so this is that part of that Venus opposite Jupiter, is that we want to go out, we want to see people, we want to have fun, and we can't because we are in this time still. We are still in a pandemic, and I'm sorry if that's a killjoy for you at this time for that reminder, but it is true. So the world is trying to open up, I think, and we are just seeing that this is still in the background, still playing a little bit of a game here. So power struggles, need for control, collective evolution versus personal rights. So that's going to come up again. And we may find ourselves facing opposition with something that we want to do in this time. So just being kind of open to what's happening. There's a lot of community and intelligence and emotional objectivity with this. There's Aquarius's gift is that they're able to see a situation and diffuse it from an intellectual standpoint. They don't use their emotions in that way. So where it is a gift because they can kind of digest their emotions through their intellect, it's also a holdback because people may feel that they're very cold, and then feeling it in their body and allowing the emotions to come up and have that human experience can be very difficult for an Aquarius. If they have an Aquarius moon, let's say, or other major Aquarius aspects in their chart, it just makes it a little bit difficult for them to feel it. But so the benefit of this moon, really what this is meant for us to do is to release what we're trying to control, because control is a fallacy. We only have control over our emotions, our perceptions and our actions. So our perceptions, even then some of those are already hardwired into us. And instead, could we become aware of those hard wirings and go, wait a second, I'm feeling really uncomfortable in this moment. Why am I feeling uncomfortable? Oh, okay. It's because this person said this thing, and this reminds me of this when I was in childhood, and it's actually not true. And I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to play that game, this one. And I'm going to choose to walk away. And instead, I'm going to choose to journal my emotions and see what's at the bottom of this so that I don't get triggered again. Does that make sense? So you're digesting it. So with these power struggles, there's another element that's coming in here. Venus and Mars are sitting very close to each other, and they are sitting opposite Jupiter. So we already saw that Venus and Jupiter, opposite each other playing out this week. It's going to play through the whole week. And then Mars coming into this, the show here, Jupiter is going to move to the 0-degree mark of Pisces around this time. And it's going to be, well, it's still sort of at the 1-degree mark. At Aquarius, it's in Pisces. Yes, it is. It's at the 0-degree mark of Pisces. Why I got a little bit mixed up with that is because it's retrograde. So it's going to move into Aquarius next week. So when it's at the 0-degree mark of a sign and it's playing out with this moon, it's going to feel like it's really intense. It's amping it up a little bit. And so we're just going to feel really emotional, I think, during this moon, overly focused on our own personal goals and pleasures instead of being of service to others. So you might feel very overindulgent during this time, or you just feel like frustrated that you're not getting what you want. There's also a trine, the sun is trine to Neptune, and that increases our sensitivity. So we might feel really, really sensitive, and we could feel like just a little bit more sensitive, just a little bit more prone to emotions, to crying. So on Saturday, July 24th, the Mercury is going to be trine to Neptune retrograde, and that's creativity, that's imagination. This is big ideas that aren't really grounded, healing, great ideas for therapy. It's a good time. Creativity, artistic endeavors, it will flourish on this day. But Saturday is a very emotional day because of some of the other aspects with the moon. Sunday, July 25th, the Mercury is opposite Pluto. This is going to be a very intense day. This is intense thoughts. And this is Mercury in Cancer, which is the mother, our home, our intuition, our emotions. And then it's opposite Pluto in Capricorn, which is the patriarchy, the father figures, the old guard, old guard. And so it's these ideas that can't go anywhere, or we feel like we're kind of, this could be even a family struggle within our families as well. So too many ideas competing, battle of ideas, divine feminine versus the divine masculine, emotions versus reality, home and inner foundations being shaken due to power struggles, old rules and structures. So a positive aspect of this is concentration, mental focus, mental breakthroughs, and research. Really good time to really kind of cerebrally put yourself into uncovering the facts of things. So again, using that Aquarian moon energy to kind of move into more of a cerebral functioning about emotions on this day, logically going, wait a second, how do I know this to be true? Don't jump to conclusions. Our emotions are going to be running high on this day. Don't get into arguments, because verbal battles not going to help, not going to go anywhere good. It's actually going to create a lot of pain and friction down the road that you're going to regret. So not a great day. There's aggression in here as well, head versus heart energy. On the negative side, this could be verbal abuse, challenges over the old ways of doing things, that you're trying to innovate and people are like, no, I don't want to do it the new way. And we're like, we're going to rearrange the pantry. And everyone's like, no, we like it the old way. Don't do it that way. You know, I mean, that's like a super trivial aspect of it in your home. And it's obsession over ideas and theories. So not a great day to be a crusader on social media and trying to convince people that what they're thinking is wrong. And if, you know, conspiracy theories, if you know, a conspiracy theory, we can talk about that forever, but really if it's really a theory that has no basis to it. And I think there's theories out there that are like just wild and crazy ideas, and then if you get enough people to believe it to be true, then it starts to kind of gain this momentum, and then we start to get, you know, these cult ideas and things like that. So, you know, really doing your research and before you kind of dive in, and even if you are trying to figure out where you sit with some of this information that's coming out, you know, now with vaccines and the rise of the variant and all that kind of stuff, really doing your research with trusted sources and looking through what is true and what is not. Because this, you know, Sunday, July 25th, if we think about, if this is a very possible week where the rise of the variant is going to become more big, more widespread, and then there's going to be a bigger push for, you know, vaccinations, and then maybe we've even just heard that Los Angeles County just went back to masking because their variants are rising astronomically over there. So we might see that kind of come into your neck of the woods, wherever you are, where you're watching this from, and just having a discerning mind and coming back into what have you learned, right? We're going into almost 2 years of this, not really, I think 18 months or something like that. But honestly, what have you learned, right? To not get caught up in all the hype, do what is right for you, find your center, know that you are safe, and move from that place. Make a decision from that place of grounded, centered, I know who I am, I know what I want to be in this time and moment, and what is true for me, right? So there might be some conversations that are happening around this time from people who might love you, or, you know, who are in fear, and that's not mutually exclusive, but there could be this kind of dichotomy of thinking out there, and finding your way and navigating that is going to be about you feeling good about you and what your decision is in this moment, and not to be pushed into fear or violence or aggression or whatever about it. So sending you a lot of love this week. Use that centeredness, this Leo energy coming in for connection and community in Aquarius. There's a lot of really great things to focus on. So I really like to sort of talk about the potentials of the other, you know, things that may not go so well, but then I want you to use that to be forearmed and to use it to make a plan, so that if that comes up for you, no guarantees it will because you have your own chart, but if it comes up for you, you come back to your center, know who you are, and trust that you will make a good decision for you. You are the manifester of your reality. So, wishing you a wonderful week ahead. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next week. Bye.